No, don't dare touch me with that. At least rub it on the comics or something.
Alright, what's the worst comic? Okay, whoever buys that Deadpool, it's gonna be a little shady.
Yeah.
Hey everybody again, you know, it's me, Casey, and...
Just our resident nose picker here.
That's right, and this afro-headed kid, you know, Morgan. But we are back here in Seattle. Comics Should Smell Good, episode something, I don't know, I've lost count.
Broadcasting not quite live from Zanadu
Almost
Comics.
almost live. Live enough to make mistakes. But yeah, and hope all of you had a good Thanksgiving and a not crazy Black Friday. I hope you came and spent money here.
Yeah, maybe didn't get trampled along the way.
Yeah, you know, probably. But you know, cool. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means?
New comics. Shocker, right? After all these weeks, you'd think you would have caught on, but no.
No, definitely not. To start off this week, let's see. What are we going to do? You know, we'll be in the spirit a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
A little bit of a holiday special. This is Avengers Annual. Previously would have been known as Avengers Holiday Special, but, you know, I don't think that sells as well. This is Catherine Immonen and David LaFuente, who was doing some all-new X-Men, right? Did he fill in for that?
No, that was David Marquez.
It's David Marquez. He's close.
They most recently worked together on a short story with Iron Fist and Dupe in A+X,
which
Catherine
really
Immonen
great.
was recently writing Journey into Mystery. Which
was excellent as well.
Just two of Marvel's less big-name creators, but, you know, since this is an annual, they're being allowed to play around with the bigger characters, and they're just doing a really fun holiday Christmas story with Hulks and Cap and...
Iron Man. Oh, there's Hulk slippers. There are Hulk slippers. And Captain America has to use a very goofy kind of password thing that Iron Man set up on him. But yeah, if you're looking for some kind of funky offbeat that's still Avengers...
Yeah, if you want to see what the Avengers are up to when they're not fighting Thanos and being in space and beating up aliens.
Exactly. Kind of like Hawkeye, you know.
We've also got something very exciting over from Dark Horse here. The 5th issue of Hellboy in Hell. You thought it ended at number 4? You were wrong, and so was I.
He was wrong. He probably told you. You probably heard it from him.
I probably did. Well, I didn't think number 4 was going to be the last one, but it seemed to wrap things up with that storyline at least. But no, Hellboy is still just wandering around in hell, because when you're Satan's dad and then you get killed and then your dad's dead too, you know, you don't really do much except walk around and talk to ghosts.
Yeah, and you help him find graveyards in hell. Which, do you think that would be hard? I don't know.
The place is kind of a graveyard, ain't it?
Right? That's what I thought. But, you know, whatever. No, this is not Kirby, but it looks very much like it. Tom Scioli does the cover for this issue of Deadpool. Art by Scott Koblish, who has been doing the previous...
the flashback issues that Jerry Duggan and Brian Posehn have been writing. There was an Iron Man Demon in a Bottle issue, and then there was an awesome 2-parter with Power Man and Iron Fist.
And Pimps.
Yes.
Pimps.
The White Man.
The White Man is a pimp, that's right.
Greatest villain in the Marvel Universe.
Absolutely. In fact, greatest villain in the world, if you really want to get to it. But yeah, this is called Wakandan Vacation, and holy crap, is that some pop art amazingness.
It's really the most concentrated Kirby I've seen in any comic this
year. Godlands better come out soon just to dethrone this as the most Kirby of the recent comics. Holy crap!
Wow! I did not know that was in there.
We didn't even look all the way through. You know what? This I'm not even going to spoil that for you.
Let's just stop talking.
Damn,
you
need to buy that. Wow.
Gonna send it over to Will. He is going to give you the ups on some new Marvel stuff, you know, to balance out all the Kirby.
That's right, that's right.
Because you really can't handle too much Kirby.
No. Over to you, Will.
Thanks for having me back, guys. This week, my biggest pick is Inhumanity. I've loved the Inhumans for years. They've been a supporting player in the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. And if you remember reading in Infinity, the big showdown between Thanos and Black Bolt did the unthinkable, and he destroyed Attilan, and now the thing that creates Inhumans has now spread over the entire planet. And so all these alien genes have been in the human race, and so now you have an entire planet full of people with strange and weird powers. So this issue, I just read it. Oh, it was awesome. It's beautiful. Olivier Coipel, Matt Fraction wrote it. And actually Matt Fraction is going to be writing a new series coming up later in 2014. This is beautiful. This is everything you need to know about the history of the Inhumans. their impact, their connection, and the future, and what it's going to mean. And it's just amazing. I love the Inhumans for years, and I'm excited to see them get the spotlight, get their own series, and watch this because I think they're going to be getting their own movie soon. Great X-Men, amazing X-Men. Nightcrawler is back. This is an amazing book. Jason Aaron, Ed McGuinness, is the search for Nightcrawler. He's somewhere in some weird kind of supernatural heaven or hell. What is it? But anyway, Wolverine, he's assembled a team to try to get him back. Wolverine is trapped. Storm and the other people are trapped in a weird hell. Azazel, one of the worst villains of the 90s, who was actually a really good villain in X-Men First Class, he's back. Nightcrawler's dad. It's freaky, it's weird, it's demon pirates, it's more little bamps. It's awesome. Get this one. A different kind of X-Men. This is the Marvel Knights. Really cool, really dark and twisted. Wolverine, Kitty, and Logan. Wolverine, Rogue, Kitty. I'm getting it all confused now. I'm so excited about how good this book is. Anyway, it's a mystery in a small town. It kind of has echoes of God Loves, Man Kills. But a small town, murder, mystery, young mutants, weird, but a whole bunch of supervillains show up. So really cool, kind of dark and twisted. And then it's the 1-year anniversary of when Peter Parker died, and that darn Otto became Superior Spider-Man. Well, in memory of Peter Parker, who's got to come back sometime. This is Amazing Spider-Man 700.1 by Dave Morrell and the amazing, legendary Klaus Janson. This is a really cool flashback tale for all you Peter Parker fans like me who are missing Peter Parker. It's a tale of, New York City needs him, snowstorm in New York City, Aunt May's in trouble. It's the Peter Parker, your friendly neighborhood spider we all know and love. And with the movie next year, hopefully Peter Parker will be back to stay and he'll kick Superior Otto's butt. So that's all for me this week. Back to you guys. Thanks for having me. Enjoy your comics.
Thank you, MrComicsBlend.com. Will, as always, is here to provide you on the, most necessary and the most up-to-date of the Marvel Now, the most nowest of the Marvel Now news.
Yeah, if it weren't for him, you'd be in the dust. Marvel
That's right.
then.
I mean, we'd just be talking about the artist. You wouldn't even know what it's talking about.
It's true.
Yeah.
And we've got another beautiful book from Dark Horse here. This is the 3rd issue of Alex DeCampi's Grindhouse. Doors open at midnight. It's kicking off the 2nd story called Prison Ship Antares, which is, of course, an all-female prison ship floating through space. There are shanks, space shanks.
Space shanks!
There are bars, space bars.
That's right.
And there are hot wardens. Hot space wardens, of course.
Because what's better than Women in Prison movie? Women in Prison in space.
In a comic book.
In a comic book. And
Ooh.
it's friggin' fantastic, and they've also got some fake ads for what we wish were Grindhouse comics or movies coming out soon, preferably, screw that, by Robert Rodriguez.
Yes.
As always.
Or Tarantino if he's not busy.
If he's not busy, right, doing westerns. And as usual, we'd like to throw you over to At the Counter with Anna for some of the more, I would say, not as large books coming out this week, but that doesn't mean that they're any less cool. So off to Anna.
Thanks, guys. We're back again this week at the Counter with Anna. First up, Catalyst Comics number 6, 3 short superhero stories scripted out by Joe Casey, art done by Paul Mayberry, Ulysses Fernos, and Dan McDade. These are awesome, sweet superhero stories that are really short bursts of awesomeness. You don't want to miss these. Changing sides, we got Black is the Color, a new book by Fantagraphics from Julia Duferer, German name with a bunch of umlauts, but that doesn't make the book any less awesome. It's full of sailors who are abandoned at sea, mermaids who try to save them, and a psychological romance that may or may not exist. But there's also awesome crosshatch art that adds some beautiful gory undertones to this romance, and the more complicated the scenes get, the more awesome the crosshatch gets. If you love art, you won't want to miss this one. We also have another book this week. Ted McCreever brings us the trade paperback form of his series Miniature Jesus from Image Comics. This is definitely a psychological drama in which our main character Chomsky deals with his alcoholic problems, but also has to deal with a weird little 8-inch figure Jesus that sits on his shoulder and tries to give him advice, or maybe just tries to add some context to those voices in his head that may or may not be real. Either way, if you want a thinking comic, this is definitely one to pick up this week. Last but not least, we have Trillium out by Jeff Lemire. That's number 5 this week, and it's the last great love story that you'll ever need to read. This week, it's a flip in their timeline. William is Nika, Nika is William. You really don't know. Also, an awesome flip book in where you read one side one way and then turn around, read the other side the other way. So it feels like you're getting 2 books in one. If you're a fan of Jeff Lemire, this is amazing. That's all I have for you guys this week. I'm going to send it back over to Casey and Morgan. Thanks.
Thank you, Anna. Amazing insight as always. And we're going to bring things back to the mainstream a bit here with the superhero comic, Action Comics. Last issue was a zero-year tie-in that theoretically kicked off Greg Pak and Aaron Cooter's run. But this is really where it's at.
Yeah.
I mean, the blurb on the cover is "Destroy all monsters." That, for those of you that don't know, is a callback to Godzilla.
Yeah.
Which essentially is what it seems like this whole storyline they're going to be doing is.
You know, I mean,
it's just giant monsters getting punched in the face by Superman.
Yeah, I mean,
which is why I'm all about.
Yeah, if you'll notice, this is the second DC comic, not only the second DC comic, but the second Superman comic we've talked about in 2 months. And for that to happen, this gotta be pretty good.
Yeah.
Or at least it's gotta have big monsters drawn by the always amazing Aaron Cooter. Yeah, it's really badass. You know, I mean, I'm confused as well by the continuity of things, but you throw that out the window, it's a big monster, don't look any more into it. And on almost the lighter side of things...
Not really at all. Don't even joke like that. Come on, man.
This is Rover Red Charlie by Garth Ennis and Michael D. Pascal, who paints the whole book. And yes, Garth Ennis took Homeward Bound, put it in a post-apocalyptic setting, and went all Garth Ennis with it. Which, do I need to explain that? No. I will tell you one of the main characters I think dies already.
I don't think that's one of the main dogs. I think there's a ton of dogs,
there are
honestly.
a lot of dogs.
Okay, if you really, really like dogs in the way that you hate to see them hurt in any way, do not pick up this book.
If you were an animal rights activist, stay away from this. If you were a sadist and like to see animals hurt, though, you know, we got the book for you. But yeah, Garth Ennis doing kind of a out of his regular element thing.
No, it's really, really cool to see. I was skeptical at first, but it's kind of awesome.
It is kind of awesome.
And we've also got a really cool self-published book here from across the pond. Howard actually brought this in from Short Run, which was last weekend.
Yes.
This is The Reach of the Mind, Book 1 by a man named Sam Bell. It's all really dark, almost screen-printed looking black and white illustration. Lots of skeletons and demons and... oh my god, this guy must be messed up.
Yeah, it's like the greatest psychedelic Lovecraft metal album cover ever, but a whole comic of it. It's pretty badass. And to go with that theme of heavy metal Lovecraft badassness, we at least have a bit of the heavy metal demon here. This is Burn the Orphanage, number 2. This is the cover of the week by Trad Moore. Look at this goat man!
He's a Lucha
He's a
Libre
Lucha goat master. He's a goat champion. And he's in the comic!
And he's just one of the random tournament fighters that they came up with for this book.
This is like the fight book that
first
Cena
one
Grace
was
has been putting
the
out.
side-scroller beat 'em up. This is the Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I don't know what the third one's gonna be, but it's probably gonna be pretty cool.
It's pretty good. It's probably gonna be pretty bad.
Like first-person shooter or something? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully we've, introduced enough of the satanic element as well as the happy, go-lucky dog and Christmas Avengers element here. Try to be well-rounded.
We have offerings for everyone.
Yeah.
Don't say we never did anything for you.
And also, if for no other reason to show off this nice ballot box that I made, and got paid for to do, I know it's amazing. This is the official Zanadu Comics 2013 Fan Awards ballot box. Some of you this week might have gotten the lucky few who got one of these actual nicely printed paper ballots to fill out for your Fan Awards this year, where hopefully we'll get enough back that we can actually... make sound judgments and say for sure.
Because otherwise it's just going to be everything that we like.
You
don't want that.
Yeah. There is a section for age. If you put old, you will be immediately discounted. So please put your real age. But yes, ballots need to be back by the 18th of December, and we'll be airing the special Comics Should Smell Good award show on January 8th. So that's something to look forward to. Thank you as always. We really appreciate it. And that's all for another episode of Comics Should Smell Good. And they do. Very good. Thanks, guys.